Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes, so you can see, I have launched, yeah, so, you can see I set up a little, analog over here. I've been kind of working with, trying to create, a moon base and a better moon base. And as you can see, yes, I'm launching 3 HAB modules at once. Yeah, so many things to touch on, so little time. Yeah, I figured I should at least show one launching of the HAB modules. I have already launched some other HAB modules, the same kind of configuration. I just, same like 3 altogether. But I changed a few things with the launcher a little bit, well, at least the landing stage. I had a few problems with it, and yeah, I'm just hoping that I solved them, or at least kind of made it a little bit better to get this thing into space and everything else. It was having a little bit of problems with the fuel, and I'm hoping I solved some of that, because I knocked off roughly, let's see, it had 6 engines, and that's 3 tons there, and each one of these is like a ton, I think, or something along those lines. I went from 6 fuel cans to 3, and I went from 6 engines to these same 6 engines, but small ones. And I'm just hoping that these work. Oh, I'm going very too fast. But yes, I've built an analog, and I've been kind of messing around with my new moon base design, and yeah, I honestly think that this one is going to be a lot better than my old ones, for many reasons. One of them, is kind of an overall, just the design of it and the way it looks is going to be a lot different, and it's probably going to be a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more, the overall design for it is going to look a lot better. That's all I can say. I'm not going to get too much into it because I kind of want it to be a little bit of a surprise, and yeah, it's all been pretty good so far. I've been just kind of crazily working away at trying to figure out the best configurations, and sitting in the VAB for hours on end and changing things around and moving things around, and you know how it is when you're designing stuff. It's always such a fun experience. But yeah, so let's get this thing to Minmus. That's kind of one of the general concerns right now. Now, I just had somebody ask me about pressure, or I mean, deltaV without tears, in my comments. Yes, I haven't really been working on anything. I just been way too busy, and whoever commented and said I sound like Bill Lumbergh, thank you. I love that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and need you to come in on Saturday. We lost a few people, and yeah, that would be great. Uh, but no, I've been just working on this moon base stuff. I did test out the Jool Explorer 11. I took a little cruise with it to Eve, and I am not very happy with the performance of these larger vessels that I've created. I think it has to do with the fact of the sheer amount of weight that I'm trying to push around the solar system, and I don't think the game likes that idea so much. Oh, and I got visited by the Kraken too. I believe it was yesterday. It was amazing. I don't know what happened, but it was launching this configuration, but the last, not this configuration, but the same thing, but with the different whatever that I was telling you about. The reason why I changed it now is not because of that. I just kind of wanted to remove weight and optimize it, And yeah, no, I got this thing like basically where it is right now, and all of a sudden it started shaking. And then I was like, okay, well, that's not that bad. It normally shakes. If you look at the stage, like in the back here, normally this thing is like spazzing out all the time. So I'm like, whatever. And yeah, it like, after like roughly another couple seconds of it shaking, maybe like 10, 12 more seconds, it just basically broke off into a million different pieces. And I was like, oh, well, that was cool, kind of cool, I guess. That kind of sucks. Now I gotta launch again. But yeah, it was very eventful. I do say, yeah, you can see like this is the normal shaking that I get, and sometimes it's a little bit. I think I talked about it in one of my last episodes, but it isn't very a very rigid rocket. It likes to wobble and shake and all that good stuff. So, whatever. It's not a big deal to me. I'll turn this off. Get all the way over here. Boom. Yeah. Let's get this thing into orbit. And, get it to Minmus already. I mean, what are we waiting for? Now, design changes. I should cover that now. With my Moon Crane initial design and idea, I ended up building like a, I didn't really put too much thought into it. I just kind of figured like, okay, I'll figure something out as time goes on, kind of, idea. And yeah, it's not that it's like biting me or anything, because I still am going to be using the Moon Crane basically for all construction. I just have to change a few things about it because yeah, it's not going to work the way I want it, as far as getting stuff placed in the right spots and everything. It's just been it's been a little hectic with that. The changes that need to be made are, well, I shouldn't say changes, but I'm basically going to have to retrofit it, kind of, to make it work. And, hopefully that should fix everything. I'm not 100%, but yeah, it's not like it's completely worthless. All I need to do is kind of launch a, basically, it's not even like a fix. I consider it to be more of a toolkit than a fix, because the things that it's going to be able to do afterwards it's going to exceed like its normal function of what I initially had thought it was going to do. So, good things come in small packages, or yeah, no, I can't think of any. No, I'm just not even going to. Yeah. So yeah, let's get this thing into Minmus already. Yeah. What else can I say? Yeah. The deltaV without tears is, I'm gonna try to do some work on this weekend. I did say Monday. I just kind of been, with my last episodes, I told you I've been busy, everything else. But spring break is here, so good things. Doggy, how many times do I have to tell you? Your interruptions are not welcome here. Doggy, the more you do this, the more nobody loves you, Doggy. Oh god, what was that? Explosion! No. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with these videos lately, and I've been feeling a little bit better, and spring break has definitely gave me a new lease on life. I feel like a new man. Oh, I've been unbelievably busy, so it's always been, just to have a little bit of a break is amazing. So, what we need to do here... I've been going to Minmus a different way, too. I don't know if it's the most fuel efficient way. It's probably not, like, at all. But, why does the moon have to come into this picture? No, I've been basically launching from, like, I'll basically launch... Oh my god, this is distracting. I've been basically launching, and, what I'll end up doing is... Oh, that works out better. Yeah. Dude, come on. Okay. Stop it. Stop it. I don't know if this is going to be the best way to launch. That's close enough for me. I don't really care that much. Yeah, no, I've been basically launching like I just have, and I didn't even do the orbital correction that, like, all of that. I would just launch and just set up my burn and, do the inclination correction after I do my burn. And I've been finding that I don't know if it's the most fuel efficient once again, but it kind of speeds things up, especially when you're like strapped on time a little bit, because then you don't have to do this orbit around and all that stuff. But yeah, I've been pretty happy. Been getting a lot of new subscribers. I'm glad that you guys, are liking my stuffs. I know, I kind of focus a lot on the Kerbal system, and I don't really go out too much to the other planets and stuff like that. And I want to. It's just, I'm the interest overall for me is doing a lot of this stuff. But as far as like making like a moon base, or like, well, I should say a base on another planet, building one on the moon or on Minmus is convenient. And what I will say is, the more that you end up expanding upon, going out really far out and building a moon base someplace else, the problem lies in that, the more that you send out, the less you want to, like, actually, like, alright, you got, like, one part, and it takes you, like, the overall flight, I should say, if anything, the overall flight, it might take you 45 minutes to get all the way to Minmus, or not Minmus, but, even if it's like Eve or Duna or something, you're gonna spend a good amount of time just playing. So what ends up happening is that you end up, let's say you end up getting there, you end up landing and all that good stuff. If there's any problems with your initial design, it's going to reflect, and you are not going to be in a very happy camper, because it's just, you're going to have to, that whole 45 minutes that you spent is technically just lost time. And it's not that I am, I focus it on a time scale, but, like for me, getting this to Minmus or doing all this stuff, it's it's not a big deal. I mean, I can get to the other planets. I like I was saying, that the performance on at least the Jool Explorer 11 isn't very good. I think it has more to do with the fact that the overall fuel amount that it has isn't really like a large amount. I mean, it is like an insane amount, because it's like almost 9,000 some units of fuel or something like that. But it's really, I really think that if anything, it needs more. And I got it to Eve. I got it into orbit with Eve and everything else. And I think somebody mentioned that they want me to, what is this? Wow, really? That's kind of cool. We ended up decoupling this someplace over here, and by the time he came around, it's right here now. Yeah, whatever. Distractions. Wow, I totally lost my train of thought, too. That just completely threw me off. Oh, yeah, somebody, I forgot who it was, in the comments said I should record going all the way to Eve, and, I don't think I'm going to do that. Like, if anything, maybe I'll record after I do the Kerbal Escape or either after the Kerbal Escape, or I'll record after I do the interplanetary burn, basically to get me to Eve. But I mean, the overall process of just getting there, I'm like I was saying, you have burns that last 15 minutes, and all you're doing is just sitting there with your, you got your engines burning. It's not that would sit there and talk or anything, because I would obviously speed it up, but it's, it will be a long video of basically nothing. And the Jool Explorer, I will say, the original one, I still have, my interest in sending out a flight basically to refuel it is there, but my main problem with that thing too is that I never put any of the solar, not the solar, but the ion engines, and it's not like a huge deal, but the ion engines allow it to have a little bit of a a fallback point where you have my Jool Explorer, which has like 4, and then you have the SS Carrier, and that thing has like 16 of them. Now, just having all those running, it does make a difference, a big, big difference. And the best part about it is I mean, at least with, I was considering going to Moho with it, or Duna, or not Duna, but Eve, for launching space stations, because the closer you are to the sun, the better your panels pick up more. With the large photovoltaic panel, or whatever you want to call it, basically when I got into orbit around Eve, the power production on one panel was at 40. So just to give you guys like an example, an idea, I mean, you could build a ship that will move between, maybe Kerbin and Eve off of interplanetary, or not interplanetary, but the ion engines, and you don't even need, you could probably put half the amount of panels that you need and probably be able to pull off something amazing. And I was actually considering doing it myself, to just build a strictly ion powered ship with basically just all, maybe not, whoa, what's this at? Stop spazzing out. RCS to the rescue. Turn off SAS. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I'll stick with this. Hopefully it doesn't spaz out. I hope it does get me. Or whatever, it should. Wow, that's really gonna make my orbit really wonky. But yeah, no, building an ion ship that kind of lives closer to the sun would be a really cool idea to have. Or, a really cool ship to have. I know a lot of you guys don't probably like the ion engines, and I don't really care so much for myself, due to the fact that, yes, they are incredibly slow. But, you're looking at a ship that could basically be powered indefinitely in a sense, and you don't even have to really do much as far as maintenance. It'd be a very low maintenance ship. It kind of sucks that ion engines kind of remove themselves now from me using them. I remember I had no use for ion engines, and now I kind of don't have a use for them anymore. Although I do think I was going to revisit building the space plane, solar space plane, or whatever you want to call it, using just the new rover wheels and some solar panels and stuff. I think the ion wheels would change, or I mean the the rover wheels will change it because of the fact that it will be able to speed up without, you know, having the use of an ion engine at all. So, you know, maybe it will be a game changer. Now I'm hoping... Alright, yeah. Everything's still there. Nothing's exploded. I should really pay attention to, you know, my orbit and all that stuff, you know. But yeah, lots of stuff to talk about this episode. But yeah, I'm going to try to get the SS carrier out this weekend. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll probably end up recording this weekend, and then I'll end up uploading sometime during the week. And, you know, maybe I'll put a space station in orbit around Eve. I'm pretty confident in the design and all that good stuff, so it's not going to be a really big deal as far as launching it or doing anything with it, so we'll see what happens. I'm okay with this. Let's get this thing landed already. Where is my retrograde? It should be like right here. Hopefully. Yes. Now I'm really hoping that this, I think I've said this already, that this moon base thing really does come together really well, because you know, I spent a little bit of time with it, but you know, there really isn't much limitation as far as how it's going to be built. And one thing I will say too is the scale on Minmus is very wonky. It's a little weird because you see a distance. Alright, that's sending me up. You see like this distance right here. If this were the moon, that distance would be like 60 kilometers. You know, something like intense, like something you really wouldn't even want to do. Or as far as, like, you know, maybe drive, I guess. But this distance here is like 8 kilometers. It's like nothing. So you know, I don't really think it's going to be much of a problem as far as this lake bed. The only problem I'm having really is the fact that when you're trying to go, like, you're trying to land, you know, the planet moves a little bit, and it kind of creates a little bit of a problem when you're trying to have like a little bit more of a accurate landing. So turn off RCS. Oh wait, no, I need it. I hope. Oh yeah, I didn't use all of it. I haven't really been paying attention to RCS or anything like that. So I'm just gonna try to bring it back a little bit to like right here. And I think, yeah, my retrograde's gonna be more up here. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, just bring this back a little bit so I kind of land closer. I don't know why that there's like a separate one kind of sitting around someplace else, but we'll figure it out when we get on the ground. Alright, let's try this out. Getting very, very close. I'm still trying to figure out what this is. I think this might be the leftover part from when I was trying to land. I don't know. And I just never deleted it. But it is really far away. So, I don't know. Maybe everything exploded when I wasn't paying attention. One thing I will say too, I kind of forgot about this. I always mention it, but if you guys are building rovers, definitely put these on your rovers. The thermic gen, it will save you a lot of time and frustration. I always mention it, and because my experience with rovers has always been a trial and error based thing, and that's one of the things I kind of never used to use, and because of that, There was always problems. Let's get this lined up. I like getting lined up really high and just kind of dropping down. It for some reason, it really works out very well. Let's get this lined up. I don't need to turn on SAS. There we go. I really hope it doesn't get too dark over here too quickly, otherwise, because landing in the dark is like really crappy. Although I will say it's probably going to be better because yeah, this area is like, just landing in it is insane when it's like too dark. I don't know. Or I mean when it's lit up, I should say. It's a bit of a problem. Alright, this landing is going to be amazing. Let me put the gear down. Yes, the gear has changed. I have moved things. Get closer to the ground already. I really don't like the wheezing sound of these engines. It's kind of an annoying sound, to be honest. Like, I'm glad that they took certain sounds out of this game, but this engine sound is actually quite annoying, I do say. Get a little bit closer here. I am a little concerned with fuel. I don't know if this thing really is going to be the best way as far as getting fuel. Okay, that was kind of loud. Now, I'm just trying to figure out what this is. I don't know what this... I'm going to have to check out what that is later. So, we'll see what happens. Turn on some lights. I don't really have the best lights on these. I just put these little lights on here because I don't... If this thing's going to be really close to the ground and everything, you don't really need a huge light on it. Plus, right now, there's no solar panels on the surface, so I can't really power these things, at least right now. Alright. That works. Come on, get closer. I wish I could speed it up right now. I love speeding it up on the landings. It just makes things so much easier. Oh, you can see these now. I don't know what this is still. Luckily, there was no explosions, so I didn't move anything. I really don't understand what that is. So I just landed those last night, so we'll figure out what that is in a second. But yeah, like I was showing you on the planet distance, like that's only 10 kilometers. That's like nothing. As far as a distance to drive, I mean, that's really not that bad. I used to go further with my rovers, so and driving with rovers sucks. So we'll figure this out. Going very too fast. I'm liking this engine design. It just kind of worries me that that much fuel has already been used. So yeah, I'm a little focused right now. Only because this is my first time I'm landing this thing, so I really don't know what to expect. Ooh, that worried me for a second. I was like, why isn't it, it wasn't, throttling up correctly. Alright, now we are getting really close. Just want to give it a nice soft landing on Minmus because I really don't want this to bounce. That would not be fun. Wow. That is a really big landing shadow too. And can I say we have touchdown? Yes, we do. Alright, time to get rid of all this frivolous stuff. Couple here. Oh god. Hopefully that doesn't reconnect. Yes, get rid of this. We don't need you anymore. You've served your purpose very well. And yeah, that's 3 HAB modules at once. Beats the moon one by a lot now, doesn't it? A lot of you guys have been watching my episodes from the beginning. You know, I used to land 1 HAB module at a time, and to me that was like just absolutely amazing. So let's get rid of this thing. Have a little bit of fun. But yeah, I used 6 of these little engines to land, and it worked out in my favor, but I will say that the amount of fuel I brought really wasn't enough. So I kind of tend to lean more towards bringing more fuel. Okay, yeah, that sucks. Now I gotta go to tracking station, waste more time, more of everyone's precious time. Yeah, so now I got 6 of these, all on Minmus, so I want to see what the other thing was, though, that I put on there. But yeah, these will just basically sit here until I get my, Oh, okay. Yeah, that was just the other lander piece, I guess, if you want to call it that. Yeah, and this is the other cluster. As you guys can see, I mean, it's basically the same configuration almost with the clusters of the HAB modules. This is not the moon base and how it is going to look, so just give me a break on that. But you can see it's very close to the ground. It's very low profile, and the reason I did that is because I just didn't like how the other ones were so high off the ground, and I wanted these to be really low and, you know, really low profile and all kinds of good stuffs. So we'll see. I'm gonna end this flight, and yeah, landing on Minmus, all that good stuff in one episode. If you haven't already, check out my Twitter and my Facebook. I always post the latest Kerbal updates. And, yeah, subscribe, all that good stuff. And, you know, there's always more to come. And I will see you next time.